ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray, the #1 storytelling show in Marietta, Georgia. I am joined here by my co-host, best friend, and producer, Mr. Trent Ludzak.
Hello.
How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm good. Just trying to figure this stuff out because I'm a failure.
No, dude, that's fine. No, that's fine. We gotta come up with some sort of hand signals if you need a second.
Yeah. We're good. I figured it out.
Dude, I was having a good day today. We have a fun guest on, but then the day got shitted on.
Your day got shitted on?
Yeah, it got shat on, dude.
That's not.
I walked
good day.
out. I got a fucking parking ticket on my well, not on my car, on Christina's car.
So, it's not even on yours.
Yeah, I felt bad about that. But no, dude, there was no sign. So there's no fucking sign on this side of the street, right? So I park and I get a parking ticket and the dude just happens to be standing there. And I was like, dude, what is your issue? I was like, there's no fucking sign. And he was just like, well, I guess you should just assume that all parking downtown is 2 hours. So I was like, so now we're just fucking assuming?
Yeah.
Then why is there a sign on that side of the street?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we're just assuming.
You should introduce the guest, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm joined here by our guest. Me and this guy go back. We did Over the Limit together. He is one of the co-hosts of Spicy Not Spicy Pod, Mr. Khaled Elchoufi.
Well, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Welcome
I'm
on.
excited
Yeah.
to be here.
So it was fucking bullshit. So I'm like, where the fuck is the sign, dude? Then the guy looked at me and he goes, well, walk me over there. And I'm like leaving work, so I have a trash can and I'm headed to the dumpster. And he's like, walk me over there and show me. I'm like, dude, I don't have time to walk you over there. I'm actually fucking working. I'm not just walking around passing out parking tickets, you fucking asshole. And then they're like, well, you have to move your car. You're like, so I'm literally parked in front of my job. You want me to go out every 2 hours and drive my car around the block?
Bullshit.
Like, what fucking point? What is the point of that?
Yeah, Atlanta's like that, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fucking crazy. Then I was getting upset, and I was like, dude, this guy probably gets verbally abused all the time. You know,
It's a terrible job he has. As well.
He's probably like, I didn't lose it on him, but I was like, dude, I'm sure people on a worse day than I was having just fucking let this dude have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because I bet he gets like commission work where it's like, hey, if you make me this ticket quota,
He's got a
we'll
quota.
give you like a fucking like a nerd's rope or something. And so he's like, he's trying to get
a free night at Bolero.
Yeah, he's like, I got 3 kids to feed. I need that.
Here's a teddy
bear.
bear.
Tire with the chalk, so he put a
Oh,
chalk
I
line.
hate that.
What does that mean?
Because then if he comes back 2 hours later and your tire hasn't moved, like the chalk line hasn't moved, I was like, what is this? This is next level.
He must be old as fuck. This is
next level meter maid shit.
No, they
this
do
is like
that.
some archaic system from the fucking 1940s.
Bro, imagine if your job title is meter maid and you're a tryhard.
God damn. That's what I was thinking.
What a
I'm
life.
like, dude. And it's a $25 ticket. I was like, you fucking loser. That shit pissed me off so bad.
Was this in downtown Marietta?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys got cheaper tickets.
Yeah.
Atlanta,
I just felt
Atlanta
bad.
be 75 at least.
I was like, what if I just didn't say anything and Christina's car got booted? She's like, what the fuck? That's my first offense. They're like, lady, you got 27 on this car. I one time got booted and I was at the Walgreens in Marietta. So I walk out and I went in there and I was scanning Polaroids. So I was in there for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But I walk out and my car's booted. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is my
in the Walgreens parking lot?
Yeah, and I walk over to the dude and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, oh, my bad, dude. I thought you went in there. I thought you left and like walked to the square. I'm like, nope, I was just in Walgreens. He's like, you were in there a long time. And I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, what?
You don't get to judge how
like,
long I go to Walgreens.
About? He's like, what were you doing? I was like, dude, take the boot off my fucking
Shit, you've
car.
been at Walgreens for a long time. You're pretty suspicious.
Dude, I was just like, yeah, but then I thought about it. I was like, man, you know who needs a show? Nate Allen needs a show because he does.
He quit that job, though.
Oh, really?
Being the boot? Yeah, because somebody pulled a gun on him. He's like,
Absolutely.
enough of that shit.
Yeah. That's like repoing.
Yeah, so now he works at like a rehab clinic.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's better. Less weapons around, I'm sure.
I guess.
Yeah, he's still probably going to get a weapon. It's
Less
just gonna be
guns,
like
more
a
knives.
fork.
Yeah. A sharpened toothbrush.
Yeah. Which is a really shitty way to get shanked. A sharpened toothbrush.
I know, that would suck.
So what you been up to, man?
Comedy the usual.
Yeah.
I was excited to come on to reminisce about our Over the Limit days.
Yeah, dude. So I was telling somebody about that the other day. They're like, so what was the concept? So for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, I think it's important to say that
All right, over the limit.
Well, first of all, there's a show called Drunk Sober High, right?
Yes.
It had existed before me and Keegan ran Over the Limit, and me and Keegan were both disappointed in Drunk Sober High for not making sure that the drunk people were actually drunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't want anybody going up there being like 2 Miller High Lifes in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So me and
That's
Keegan,
not team drunk.
That's
we
That's
want
cheating.
to,
Yeah.
we want to elevate the quality of a drunk show and make everybody get breathalyzed and make sure they're over the DUI limit
Yeah.
before they're allowed to go on
Yeah, to
stage.
tell jokes. That was the premise. Like,
That
you
makes
got to be
sense.
over the limit to get up here and tell jokes. So people, we breathalyzed them with a Walgreens breathalyzer, and it had to be over 0.08.
Which
Or-
Keegan stole.
And I feel
allegedly, I walked out with it from Walgreens, but I'm not paying that. It was
Yeah.
an absorbent amount
they
of
booted
money
your
for
car.
Yeah.
No, but Keegan was really cool about it because he wasn't like, I'm going to go in there and steal it. He just went in and he walked out.
Yeah,
and
he-
I was like, oh, how much did it cost? Because I was like, I
Yeah.
should pitch in. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I stole it. He was real casual with it. And I was like, I fuck with Keegan for being so casual about theft.
I feel like that means you walked in, you saw the price, and you were like, not
Yeah,
paying
I
that.
looked at it. and
It
said,
was
"I don't
expensive.
think so."
It was like
Oh,
$70
yeah.
or something.
I don't think so.
I'm
No
pretty sure
fucking
you
way.
can get them real cheap now.
But it was fun, dude. We would we'd breathalyze you on stage. If you weren't over the legal limit, the crowd would boo you, and then we would send
As
you
they
to the bar,
should.
and you get a shot. It was
Yeah.
fun. I remember the when we really thought about having to like shut it down was when that dude in Charleston blew a .28.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's when I walked over to him and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Hey man, like you gotta have a drink, you know? You don't want to." He's like, "I'm good. I've been on the water all day." I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay."
I remember that was the first time I met Gabe Haynes, who's now an Atlanta comic, but we did a show in Savannah. Back then, Gabe was still in Savannah. And he did a set together with Nate Allen, the guy who used to boot
Yeah.
cars. And then Gabe threw up into a trash can on stage.
Yeah, on stage.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Good.
think we did the show about 4 times before
Yeah.
we just unspokenly were like, that's enough of
The
that.
Savannah was such a shit show, dude. It was literally like they were telling jokes and Gabe is just behind the comedian just hurling into a trash can.
He didn't have the mic. It'd be way funnier if he has the mic and he's like holding it way off to the side.
It was it got out of control a couple
Yeah.
times. I remember I think it
I imagine.
was the drive home from the Savannah one that we did at Wormhole, and that was a shit show. The one at Wormhole where Aaron headlined, but I remember on the ride home, it's just like a silent, hungover car, and Khaled just goes, "I don't know, man. You think we should keep doing this?" Just that very hungover, just woof. That was the show.
And then we were in Savannah, and then I feel like you probably do less drugs now, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Probably.
I was in active. I was out there doing it, dude.
Wait, can I talk about what drugs you did?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you're keeping
No,
secrets.
no.
Well, Keegan, we went to these people's house, and they whip out like a culinary quality level of like something you see in a Michelin star restaurant,
Like a
cutting
charcuterie board of
a charcuterie
drugs.
board of powdered drugs.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that's
so,
a dangerous. You don't want to put a bunch
No.
of.
No, so what he's
and it's a
describing-
nice house. Like they got
No,
a spice cabinet for
it's-
actual spices.
Yeah,
like
it's a really nice house. But he's talking about it. It is a board that has little pre-cut slits in it, so you just scoop it over, and it's already like pre-weighed out to little bumps and line. I mean,
yeah,
it's a great invention.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
Great
is-
invention. I don't know.
It is the Blazy Susan of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah. it was and then so Keegan was he was doing ketamine that day,
Good.
and then so he came there with his girlfriend at the time. So I just get drunk at the show. I end up at a bar. Keegan was drunk with me, but then he went and did more ketamine, and then I saw him walking back to the bar, and he was kind of walking in like a zigzag
he was,
fashion.
He was stumbling a
And
little
then I
bit.
go into the bar, and then I fall asleep at the bar. And then the people at the bar were like, "Hey man, you gotta leave." And I was like, "Why? Why can't I sleep?"
Yep.
Like
I've
I didn't
been
see
there
the problem
before.
with me
Yeah.
sleeping. I was like, I'm not bothering anybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, you just have to leave."
Yeah.
And then Keegan's girl at the time like came in, and then she saw me asleep, and they're like kind of put me as her burden now because
Yeah.
she knows me. And then she goes to get Keegan, but Keegan's on ketamine and drunk.
Yeah.
And somehow they were still together for a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was pissed.
Not happy
She's
about
like,
that
dude, I
one?
walk in, your fucking homie's passed out. The bartender's kicking him out. And you were making a pretty good case, though. You were making a great case. You're like, what is the problem? Like,
It was funny
guy,
is that she was like so much younger than both of us.
Yeah, you're like, that
Oh.
guy over there is like causing a ruckus. You're like, I just want to take a little cat nap. You know, that's not bad logic. Where you're like, what am I really doing here? Like,
Did you mean catnap?
Yeah, a little cat nap. No, dude, that was a nightmare. I remember I was so over the limit that before the show, people were coming up and being like, "What is the list?" And I just remember, like, over and over in my head, I kept going, "What is the list?"
Like as a concept.
Yeah, like I was having an existential crisis. These people needed to know when they were going on the show. I was like, "Hey, everybody,
You're like, why do we do
get away
lists,
from me."
though?
And if you've never been to the Wormhole, that is a very bizarre bar. Anyway, it's just like there's like a Nintendo. It's like real dark, and it's just a weird. It feels like you're like in somebody's dream that fell asleep in the 90s on heroin. You know what I'm saying? Like you're living in their dream. You're just like, dude, the place that I love about the Wormhole was the first time I went there, my buddy's like, it's really cool. You can get a quesadilla. I was like, I will definitely not be getting a quesadilla.
It's really cool. You can get a quesadilla. Is not a good bar pitch.
Yeah, late night. So I'm sitting outside and I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm like, I don't know if this is my scene. And there was this homeless dude walking around, and then there's a guy sitting out on the balcony, like on the porch, and he just has a cigarette in his mouth and he just nods out. And this homeless dude just comes up and takes his cigarette. And I was like, damn, dude, that happened so much.
Yeah.
That
That's
this homeless
hilarious.
guy was hawking around like somebody's about to nod out. And I'm gonna
Yup.
get a free cigarette.
There's something. It's about Wormhole in this. Any bar like this where you walk in and it's empty, but there's strobe lights going. That shit depresses
Oh,
me.
that's a sad room.
An empty bar with strobe lights. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
there's no reason why we shouldn't kill ourselves in this building.
No, there's no. You're right.
Yeah, nothing.
It is
nothing
the saddest.
Yeah.
The only thing you should ever do when you walk into a bar that's empty with strobe lights is turn around.
Yeah.
It's the only acceptable thing to do.
I'd honestly rather get drunk at home.
Yeah.
I am 31. I'm too old to be
You're like,
hanging
dude,
out at those places.
It's 3:30 in the afternoon. Like, this is the saddest happy hour. Turn those fucking strobe lights off, goddammit.
No, yeah.
You got to do something cool, like have a popcorn machine at the sad happy hour. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah,
acceptable.
That
Yes.
helps a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
strobe light is a bad look.
Yeah.
A bowl of loose nuts on the table.
Ugh, dude, those are
Oh, they're
the
not even in the
worst.
shell. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just the
Yep.
yeah.
Those
yeah.
are just bowls of piss. That's terrible. I hate that. I hate when I see that.
They have well, talking about all this alcohol. It is a good transition into what I want to talk about.
Perfect.
Well, I want to talk about my time at Georgia Southern.
Okay, nice.
Okay, alcohol. Yeah,
Dude,
I
that
see
is
the connection. You
that
made.
is also the most depressing place ever.
And it's a dry county, which is mind blowing.
For some reason, if a place is a dry county, it means everybody's going to be an alcoholic in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is.
Because the drinking is still like bad boy shit.
It's simple
Yeah, they put it on this
rebellion.
crazy pedestal where you're like, oh, yeah.
You're like, I'm an outlaw. I drank 6 Miller High Lifes. Like, dude, fuck out of here. Get out of Statesboro.
Yeah, that place fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But I was excited to go there because, everybody was talking it up in Augusta. Like, a lot of people wanted to go to Georgia Southern. And then when we got there, like, my freshman year, they had, like, a little bar strip, or strip of bars or whatever.
the
And
little
then we're all over
downtown.
there. And then a fucking kid died.
Oh, shit.
I know.
So you were down there when that happened?
Yeah, I wasn't I wasn't at the bar that
Yeah.
he was at, but I was in the strip.
Yeah.
But he died. And then there's a lot of stories about how he died. Like, some people say he was taking money out the tip bucket from the bar, and then the dude punched him in the face, and then he died.
Damn.
There's another story about him getting just in a verbal altercation, like he was talking too tough to the security guard,
Yeah.
and then he punched. Either way, he got punched in the face and died.
Either way, you hate to
Yeah.
see it happen because, I mean, everybody's drunk. Somebody that made a bad decision, and, whether it was him to steal it, but it's a bad decision to punch somebody. You hate to see that.
I know, and I'm sure when the security, to be fair to both sides,
Yeah.
two sides of every story. When the security guard punched him once in the face, he probably wasn't thinking like, "Oh, this is gonna kill
Right.
this
That's
child."
what I'm saying.
but it
That
did.
would-
holy shit.
That would fuck you up forever.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
You would be like,
And
my
you're just
fists are too powerful.
Yeah,
I need
you're
to,
like,
Or it'd make you feel like God.
I need to lock. I need to
Right.
lock
It
these
could
things
go either
up.
way.
Yeah, you feel like Thor. You're like, dude, I just Thor hammered. Yeah, I had a buddy that was a bouncer, and he learned jujitsu, and that's what he was talking about. He's like, I would never punch somebody. He's
Oh,
like, I
really?
do jujitsu because
No,
you have less of a
dislocate their elbow
Yeah,
instead.
he's like, I have less likely of a chance of hurting somebody because I can just choke them to sleep.
Oh, no,
like,
this guy
smacking
wasn't
somebody.
even the security guard. I saw his mugshot. He didn't even look like a trained martial artist. He just looked like a
Yeah.
corn-fed fucking
Yeah.
Butterbean looking dude. Remember
Yeah,
Butterbean, the dude that
yeah.
knocked
Yeah.
out Johnny
That's what I
Knoxville?
in my mind. That's what I saw. As soon as you said that dude got hit and died, I just saw that punch.
I like how that guy's a boxer and everybody just knows him as the
Yeah.
guy that fought. He has
That
a,
knocked out Johnny Knoxville in a jewelry store.
God
a
damn.
full boxing career.
You're lucky
Nobody
you didn't
remembers.
die.
Bro, that's one of my favorite quotes of all time when Johnny Knoxville woke up and goes, "Is Butterbean okay?"
You know
Okay.
he had that prepared. He's like, when I wake up, it's the first thing I'm gonna say.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you this though. Speaking of Jackass, would you rather be punched by Butterbean or get hit by a bull? Like two Johnny Knoxville.
Okay,
God.
getting punched in the face by Butterbean or getting hit by a bull.
Yeah.
I go bull.
Like Johnny
Really?
Knoxville.
I think I
bull.
have a better chance of not being retarded.
Not with
forever.
that shirt.
That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point.
Dude, have you ever been around a bull?
I went to I
They're
saw a
terrifying.
bullfight one time.
That's- what?
Like a rodeo situation.
Oh,
in
okay.
Augusta. That's what I meant.
Okay, I was like, what? Matadors and shit?
No, I forgot the word for it. I was like, what is it? Oh yeah, a rodeo,
No,
not a
I did
bullfight.
the first time I ever did a rodeo was when I first moved to Sequoia. I was in like 10th grade, 11th grade.
Is that a place in Georgia?
Yeah, it's a real like country ass place. So I
Oh,
had
okay.
no idea, and they're like, "We're going to a
Yeah,
rodeo."
a place with a
so
rodeo.
this one of the guys that was like in the friend group was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, my dad's in the rodeo." So I went with these people, dude. I was flipped out. I'm just sitting at this rodeo, like, "What the fuck are we doing?" It was at another high school. So the dude's like,
They
"Yeah,
had the rodeo at a high school?
yeah, Cherokee High School."
That's hard.
So his dad, they're like, "Oh, his dad's coming up next." I'm like, "Well, what does his dad do?" Dude, all of a sudden his dad rides out on a horse and they just let some baby cow just run out and it's just terrified and he just lassos it and then just like fucking pile drives this baby cow. They basically just tie it
No,
up.
I
and
know what
just
you're talking
body
about,
slam
yeah.
this
And then
cow.
what do? They just eat it in front of the
No,
audience?
they just see how fast they can tie it up, and everybody was going crazy. I'm
Have
like,
you never
dude,
seen this, Khaled?
I'm like, dude,
I've
your
never.
dad is a fucking
when I
asshole.
went to, bro, when I
I
went
was
to,
like, what is your
bro,
dad doing?
when I went to the rodeo, man, I was young. I was about maybe 9 years old, 10 years old. So it's 2005, mind you. When at this time, America is at war in Iraq, right?
Oh wait.
So
Yeah, I've done comedy at enough country bars where this is just on the TV. It's my favorite thing to watch.
No, this all right. So put this on the screen so they can see. This was his
Hold
dad,
up.
dude. So I'm sitting there. And this is
isn't his actual dad.
no.
No,
but
this is what he's doing.
He was doing, and like, dude,
Bro.
I was high as shit. Like, what are you doing?
Dave, that's exactly what you just described.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He just fucking Hulk slams this goddamn baby cow down, and they were
Does
going
he have
crazy.
to hold it in his mouth, or he just
Yeah,
like
like
it?
all seductive.
He
like
likes
that.
the taste. I like the taste.
I like to make it sexual.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nobody
Patio
notices it
You
on the
already
TV.
know that dude's wife.
So
or
white people
husband
from like
gets tied
Native
up.
American named cities would be some country motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like the
Okay.
fucking so when I went to the rodeo,
Okay.
it was like probably 2004, 2005. At this time, it was like we're at a war
Yeah.
in Iraq and
Yeah.
shit. And
So you're popular at the rodeo.
not very. But I don't know if people are picking up that I'm an Arab or not. But I mean, these people probably legitimately don't like Arabs. Not on some microaggression
Yeah.
shit, like legit.
Yeah.
So I was
they'll
kinda
say
like
it
Their
to you.
bumper sticker says it.
Oh yeah.
You're like, no, dude.
Like a T-shirt that would be like "License to Kill Terrorists," and it's like
Yeah.
a gun license, and it says 9/11/01 as the number. It's like shit like that. And so I was just just like those shitty Walmart "I hate Arab" T-shirts. And we were in there, and then this motherfucker comes up to sing the national anthem. But he starts
It's
off,
Toby Keith.
bro. He starts off before singing the national anthem. He starts off by going, "Man, before I start singing this song, I just want to talk about how there's a lot of people in this world that hate what America is. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh man,
They got that towel on their head.
Oh no,
Bro, no, he said, I remember discreetly him saying they got that towel on their head. And I was like, shrugging down into those shitty bleachers we were sitting. Just like, no, what the fuck?
You just pull out a newspaper.
And then when he said that, the audience is like, yeah, like they're fucking giving
they're going
it up.
crazy. Yeah.
I know.
USA.
And then it's like
your whole comedy career is just looking for an applause that big.
and I was just trying to like not because I don't want to applaud and shit because then they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But you just kind of sit there like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
bro, that's a real Aaron Odom move right there.
Oh, I like that.
took it from work. What is this?
There you go.
Bee
Yeah.
sneeze.
I like a pocket drink, dude.
But the fucking oh yeah, but Georgia Southern. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that kid died,
Yes.
turns out his parents are these rich people from Johns Creek, like the suburb of Lansing, like this fucking richest suburb in Georgia.
Yeah.
They sign a law in his name that makes it be like there's no more fun allowed in Statesboro.
Yeah.
So now they shut down all the bars, and then everybody had to go to house parties. But the
That's
police would be
safer.
shutting down house
Yeah.
parties. They turned that shit into Cop City. And so you'd have to have like 3 different house parties to go to because everything gets shut down.
Damn.
But when I realized that Statesboro, like that the people of Georgia Southern, the student body, are some disgusting individuals, was one time there was a house party, and it was for this girl's birthday who was a neighbor of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And then she showed up to our apartment because my buddy was trying to get to her, my roommate. And my roommate was more attractive to women than I am.
Right.
So he was trying to get with her. Now, her friend came with her, who's much less attractive than her, because I think they've known each other since they were about 5.
Yeah.
So she just got grandfathered into the friend
We
group.
all
But
know that
A story old as time.
So she come in. She kind of looks like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. She has that.
Good.
She has that
Yeah.
face that looks retarded, but she's not retarded. It's
yeah.
just how her face is structured. And she comes in, and then so everybody's like, "All right, the good looking one." She goes
Yeah.
with the good looking one goes with my roommate, and then I'm gonna get Bubbles.
So this lady, this is what's the best picture?
That's a good one right there.
That's a
I
good
think
one?
that sums it up pretty well. So they saw Bubbles. They go, all right, she goes with Khaled. They make sense for each other. So then she come in. She sees me drinking a beer. And then at this time, this was one of the times where I'm actually more attractive than my counterpart
Right.
in this meeting.
You're on your real hot guy shit.
Yeah.
I'm on my hot boy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
she thinks I'm Chris Brown.
Yeah, you're like putting your
Without
feet
the
on
violence,
the coffee
yeah.
table and shit.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude,
You're like, bitch, I'm not even taking my
yeah,
shoes
you're
off for
yeah,
this.
you're blessed, babe.
So she
I'm
goes,
even here.
she goes, I bet I can shotgun more beers than you. That was like her pickup line.
No.
And I was like, all right, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Turns out she absolutely could.
Bubbles is a
Turns
drinker.
out Bubbles could drink.
Yeah.
Bubbles
I,
is more like Steve Austin.
Yeah. I remember we had a flat of Bush Light. And we were like, all right, let's do these.
Good.
And then so we shotgun a beer. She kills it. I was like, damn. But we almost finished at the same time. Then we do a second one.
Oh, you finished at the same time.
Just the the second one, she had me beat by a good minute, and then the third one, I had to stop. I was
Yeah.
like, you get halfway through, you're like, bro, I
She
just
knew it
put
was
like
a
a pound
marathon.
of fucking beer
Yeah.
in my stomach,
Yeah.
and then she did finish that one, and then did a fourth one,
Oh, shit.
just to further
Just for fun.
masculinate
Yeah.
me, yeah,
She was doing a victory lap,
and then so
showing off.
they all go to the girls' party. Me
Yeah.
feeling defeated from what happened during the
Yeah.
shotgun thing was like, I'm gonna lay back in the apartment for a little
Humiliated
bit.
Oh
Bubbles.
yeah,
I'll find my
yeah,
own
she-
thing to do.
Yeah, she emasculated.
Yeah.
At the time, you're like, I'll just play Guitar Hero.
And then so they left during the daytime, and then
Oh, this is daytime shotgunning.
yeah.
Okay,
This is
that's a little
like
bit
she
different.
showed up to Statesboro.
Yeah,
from
it is
fucking-
Statesboro.
Oh,
she-
she got out of the car.
Yeah, she came to Statesboro from like fucking Baxley, Georgia, somewhere
Yeah,
in some
yeah,
South
yeah.
Georgia one red light town, and she
Yeah.
showed up and fucking
She's like
Steve
I'm-
Austin me
yeah.
to death, and then and
She's
then
like
she
one beer, one, 2 beers, one.
and then she fucking so later on that night before I even get out the house.
Uh-huh.
it's probably like maybe 7:30, 8 p.m. at this point. I just hear, it didn't even sound like a knock on the door. It sounded like somebody fell against the door and like hit their head on it or something. So I open it.
Sort of a knock slide.
Absolutely.
Thunks.
And I open it, and then she kind of stumbles in. And she was like, I'm so fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you started the day by
started the day.
4 shotgun beers.
And I'm like, and I was also wondering like how she found the apartment again, or how she even got here. And I was like, how'd you get here? She was like, and I was like, how'd you get here? She was like, "Bleh," and she threw up on my floor.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, holy
she's like
shit.
a stray dog. She just found the
Disgusting.
house somehow, threw up on the carpet.
And luckily they had that like linoleum fake wood floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not trying to, but like what you.
No,
you all
yeah,
got,
this garbage. Yeah.
This type of
No,
shit.
this is a cheap apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank God.
And yeah, I have the same shit. No, this stuff is the best thing to have somebody throw up on because
Yeah.
it's a manageable situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she throws up on the thing, and I was
Throw
like,
some
"Hey,
sawdust on it.
yeah, just sweep it."
Like a janitor at elementary
Bro.
school.
I wish you were there to tell me to throw sawdust on it because I'm like,
Who
how
has sawdust laying around?
I would go find sawdust
Bro,
I want to go look for wood. And
rather than just to try to sweep raw throw up. Like,
Yeah.
just
bro,
try
it
to.
makes
You
it so
swept
much
raw
easier.
throw up?
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what we did, how we cleaned it up.
And that was like probably 35 bush lights at that point.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a mix of everything because they probably had pizza and
Oh,
shit at
yeah.
that party, so it was
Oh,
a thick one.
If I oh,
And then so after she threw up on the thing,
Chunky.
she goes, just let me sleep here. And I was like, no, you just threw up on the.
Yeah.
You just threw up.
You've already
This is too
worn your
much.
welcome
You-
out.
Absolutely, yeah, immediately.
yeah,
I can't imagine what you're gonna do.
You didn't even knock properly.
yeah. You're strike.
You did not probably threw up on my fucking
Yeah,
floor.
you're strike 1, 2, and 3 quick. Dude.
Yeah, strike one was the hitting at the door with your head. Knock two was the slide because you're like, damn,
Yeah.
you're fucked up. Knock three is the throwing up.
That's the worst.
And then so after she threw up, and then she was like, "Can I please stay here?" I was
Yeah.
like, "No." She goes, "Please, I'll let you fuck me." Like almost like
No.
I'll pass out and you could just fuck me and that'll be my payment. And I
Oh.
was like, absolutely not.
No way.
I wouldn't even want to in any other situation that wasn't on some freak
Yeah.
shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You're
so-
like, how, you got to work on your self-worth, girl.
Yeah, that's
No. At this point, she had no self worth.
I know.
can
No.
probably say. And so
no, that's what Bush does.
Bush Light. She'll just give it away.
absolutely because so after that, because I can't lift her.
And to be fair, you're never gonna fuck if you start by shotgunning because you're just gonna be a gassy mess, both of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's no way. You're just like, don't lay on my stomach. That's just bad fucking. That's like if you eat too much at dinner. You like if you have like an anniversary with a chick, and you eat a ton, and then you go home, you're like, don't touch me.
Right.
You went to a bottomless Korean place. Now you got the
Yeah.
meat sweats.
I mean, honestly, at that point, I would have taken Gassy over the throw up
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so she
yeah.
throws up. She wants to stay.
So I was like, we got to get you back.
Yeah.
I was like, where do you live?
Yeah, we got to get you back to whatever dimension you fell out of.
Yeah. So I was like, what's the apartment? What's the address? Whatever.
Yeah.
She just said 12 different numbers at me,
Oh, good.
and she
God.
was like, couldn't remember shit. So I was like, okay, let's get you out of here. So I began dragging her by her arm to come out of the apartment, like she's like a big bag of trash. Not to have
Yeah.
the meanest metaphor
Yeah.
ever. But like literally,
Yeah.
it's like if you
Yeah.
had a trash bag filled with just loose
Yeah.
rocks and
We pulled up the picture of Bubbles. We know.
way bigger than Bubbles.
Yeah.
I mean, Bubbles, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you-
so I get her out there. I go, all right, I'm gonna go get my car because I can't drag a person to their address.
No.
Yeah.
I have to get in.
That's
I
how
have to
you get
in my
arrested.
car. Yeah,
That's how you get
absolutely.
arrested. You're just dragging somebody down the street.
Just
They're
across
like, hey,
campus.
Hey,
I know.
absolutely not.
And the thing with campus is your car will be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like it's in a fucking. It's where you last found a parking space, so it could be like fucking half a mile away.
Yeah.
So I start walking. She starts screaming. She was like, "Wow, you're
Yeah.
gonna leave me. You're never gonna come back." She starts bawling. She starts crying. She's being completely fucking like fucking. You
Yeah.
know, she's just
A lady
very-
who shotgunned a bunch of bush light.
Shotgun a bunch of
Yeah.
bush
It's
lights.
hysterical.
As much as she emasculated me when she shotgunned those beers in front of me and like fucking squashed the
Yeah.
can in front of me and was like, "Yeah, you bitch." This was where I saw the downfall
Damn.
of all that bravado
Yeah.
that she presented
Yeah.
herself
Gone.
with. And then
That's
Damn,
all it
I didn't know
takes.
she did you like that though. She like crushed the can
Absolutely
and called you a
disrespectful.
bitch.
Yeah.
That's a little. It's aggressive.
I mean, logically, she could feel herself because I was probably
Yeah.
being a little cocky too. Like, oh, even though she's a much bigger person than I am, I was confident in just the fact. I guess on
you
some
keep
misogynistic
saying this
shit.
the nicest way you can.
I was confident on like, but I'm still a boy though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
You know,
I get
it.
I still should be able to do you.
Yeah.
Outdo you with this.
Yeah, but you're not opening up your throat as often as she is.
Yeah, shotgunning is tricky, dude. There's a skill to it. It's
Yeah.
tricky.
That,
Oh, yeah.
Tricky.
yeah. But she also can't do with the temperature differential.
Yeah, it's,
Like when you
that's what
go
I'm
cold,
saying.
like I want like a warm beer to do it
Yeah.
with. She went straight cold.
Ooh, she's pins and needles. She likes to be hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a woman that needs to be hurt.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yep.
Women have a higher threshold for pain too. That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. It's because they're dead inside.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and the periods and the birth.
Yeah. And, because they're.
I
set
mean,
up
that's
for,
secondary and tertiary.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's mostly they're dead inside.
They're just like.
That's the main
shit.
cause.
Dude,
But
that is
either way,
bad.
she was yelling so much and crying
Yeah.
so much that I was like, okay, I'll drag you to the apartment
Yeah.
because her friend was staying in the same complex that we were. So I began dragging her.
So now you got to drag her down the hall instead of across the
Well,
street.
no, this is like at this point, this was our sophomore year, so it was like it was like an apartment complex. So you walk outside, you're outside.
Yeah.
So I'm dragging her to every different direction that she's telling me that she may live in. And as I'm doing this, there's so many drunk college boys on their like balconies seeing me drag a really big lady.
Yeah.
And so they think that like I captured my prey or something.
They're like you're on some caveman shit.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, kid, shit.
No.
Did you have a beard?
Yeah, I looked exactly the same as I did,
Oh,
except
no.
probably a little younger.
Yeah.
But
That hairy man is
same setup. But
hilarious.
they're almost cheering me on where I'm like, bro, that's crazy because I'm trying to get this woman back to safety.
Yeah.
And then all these people that are seeing me are assuming that I'm about to do something terrible to this person.
You're like, this is.
And they're all cheering it on. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you all
Yeah.
cheering it on? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this person back to base. And they think like, oh, no,
Yeah.
he's about to fucking do some dumpster.
It's a dark peek into the psyche of humanity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, whoa.
Absolutely.
It's like that thing where that lady got stabbed in New York and nobody helped her, and there was like 87
Yeah.
people around there.
Walking
I was
by.
Like, not
who
my problem.
heard it? It's
But, like,
it's
well,
like
most
a
of them-
phenomenon where everybody's like,
Yeah, not
oh,
my-
somebody else will
Yeah,
do it.
somebody will do that.
And if everybody thinks, somebody else will call the police about this, then nobody ends up calling.
But you know what? That's a very easy state to go in because if somebody was banging on my door, like, help me, I'd be like, you're on your own, bro. Fucking, what am
Yeah,
I going
like,
to do?
It feels
Come
like
out there
you're going
and
to get robbed.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Come out there and get attacked too?
If I heard some crazy noises and then I ignored it, that's one thing. But these motherfuckers are like,
Yeah,
get
they're
that.
applauding.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
like, applauding
Yes.
is crazy.
I was trying to
Applauding
tie
is, yeah.
yeah.
But
They're
what you're
sick.
saying makes sense. But
They're
like
sick.
to applaud it with something weird.
Yeah.
But then I actually eventually did drag her back to where she lived,
Yeah.
and then I got her there, and I gave her to the roommate, and then they congratulated. They were like, "Oh, we've
Yeah.
been looking for her." And
Yeah.
shit.
Oh no, that's
know.
the worst.
But that's how Georgia Southern was, bro. Georgia Southern, it was the biggest waste of time ever.
Yeah.
It was totally pointless to go. I know some people are like, no, I know somebody that's great that went to Georgia Southern, and now they're the head of
You're like,
the,
yeah,
the
they would have been
wildlife
great.
department at Okefenokee Swamp.
Yeah. They
You're
would have
like,
been great without Georgia Southern.
they would have found something, but the majority of it was just like, is motherfuckers getting drunk.
That's college.
Yeah. Especially a place like that. Georgia Southern just seems to be.
Did you guys have kratom bars?
This is before Kratom was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one last thing about Georgia Southern is that my first roommate, my freshman year roommate, different than the roommate in the story I told. That roommate, I didn't like him because he's the reason why we got arrested at Georgia Southern, because the police found weed on him that he wouldn't claim.
Oh,
So they arrested
shit.
all of us for it.
What?
And so we all went to jail because he wouldn't claim his little bit of weed.
Whoa.
Wow.
I know. So he, so
What a
I
fucking
never,
asshole.
I know, I never fucked with him, and my mom hated him too. Like she didn't like
She
him from
knew.
orientation.
Yeah,
like when she met him,
knew. She had that
knew.
instinct.
she was like, "This kid just
It's
sucks."
a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They know.
They
My
went-
parents always knew. Like
Yeah.
they would be like, I don't like that friend, and you'd be defending him, but you knew you're like, he's a piece.
My
of
mom
shit.
was my mom
How
was
did they
never
know?
wrong about when she called
how
out the
did
piece
they
of shit
know?
friend.
Like my mom would be like, I don't like that guy, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
damn, she knows he's a piece of shit.
Well,
She
it's
somehow
like
feels it out.
don't you know as an adult now if you see a kid
Yes.
in public,
Yes.
like you
Yes.
can tell right away if that kid's a dickhead
Yep.
or a nice kid. Like
Yeah.
you just as an adult,
No,
you
That's
bro,
can
why-
just tell.
this is how
That's
crazy.
why I couldn't be like a referee of kid sports.
No.
Because I
No.
would be like, yo, fuck this little kid.
Yeah.
Asshole. How's it feel? Holding. I don't like you. Hey, you know what? Technical. Your dad's out of here too. Fuck you, dude.
Yellow card. Get out of this baseball diamond.
Absolutely, but the thing is too, when you talk about the parents' intuition, my mom's
Yeah.
intuition was so on point. This is how crazy on point she was with him. So this kid's mom was a DAA agent, and then
A
when he went to
DEA?
college, DEA like drug enforcement.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so when he went to college, he never smoked weed, never drank. When he got there, he went fucking crazy.
Yep.
Like
Lost his mind.
pills, drinking
Uh-huh.
every day, like be passed out, like just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then like out of nowhere, a couple months ago, last time I was in Augusta hanging out with my mom, out of nowhere she goes, "What happened to that roommate of yours that freshman year?" And I go, "I don't know." She goes, "I bet he's like delivering pizza or some shit now." And I was like, "Yeah, probably. I mean, he dropped out."
And then he came and took your order.
Bro, I googled this man's name. He's been dead for 2 years.
Whoa.
And I was like, no, because
Yeah.
he had, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to put his name out there like that.
Yeah.
But he has a name that like there's not many people with that
Right,
name.
right.
Kind of like a Khaled Elchoufi.
Yeah.
Even though he was white, his last name was just like super German.
Yeah.
And
Like my name's Ludzak. If you ever
Yeah.
meet another Ludzak, they are related
they're-
to me.
they're- I really-
That's crazy.
so then when I put his name in, came up with an obituary, and I saw it, I was like, oh shit, that's him.
Oh, damn.
And then the other link that was the other thing that he had was a LinkedIn, and I opened it up, and the only thing on it was Papa John's pizza delivery driver.
Damn,
And I was like,
knew.
Mom nailed it.
Mom
and then the
knew.
second thought was, there's no reason for that to go on a LinkedIn. Like,
No.
No.
that's almost better if you don't tell them that. You might as well, it'd be better off for you to say, I've never had a job, and I'm starting my
Yeah.
life now.
You know what's
Then I
better
go,
off?
I'm coming at you from Papa
Yeah,
John's.
yeah.
Like,
Don't say Papa John's. Actually, it's better to just be like, I'm
Yeah.
coming
The
from
N-word
rehab.
pizza delivery?
I had a 6-month skip because I was getting off of heroin. That
Yeah.
sounds better than Papa John's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High
What cubicle job are you applying for?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, they'll appreciate the driving experience.
I
Like,
love
it's like-
that people also are so honest in their resume, like they're checking it.
No.
Dude, lie to those fucking
lie
people.
and don't put some stuff you do. Don't put that you do stand up.
No,
Don't put that you
nothing.
do a podcast. Leave
I
that
was at-
shit
I
out.
No,
was
you don't
at-
need to know that.
I've
No.
been at jobs where
And
I
they
was at
probably
the
Google
cabinet
it, but-
place, and I was like, dude, I have no idea what I'm doing, and they hired me, and it's like, how long can I fake it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How many paychecks can I weasel out of these motherfuckers before they're like, he has no idea what he's doing? Dude, I was driving a forklift with all these cabinets on it. Totally like, yeah, dude, do it all the time. I just watched one guy for like a day. I was like, I can do that.
do that shit.
Dude, I
Whoa.
can do that.
Same thing with like
I don't have that in me at all.
Yeah,
Same-
dude,
same
I
thing
was
with,
literally in the forklift, and the dude was like, the guy, like, because you just have to convince the one guy that's like the manager of the floor in
Yeah.
a warehouse, and then like when you're with the other dudes, the guy's like watching you, like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're like, no, Joe, I don't.
Keegan, I feel like this might be why I have a good job and you guys are servers.
I mean,
what do you do?
I don't want to talk about it specifically.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
let's say it's the kind of job that you could have a wife and kids on,
yeah,
and I don't, which is nice.
That's cool.
yeah,
That's why we have this room.
They let you do the long beard, long hair thing. No, they're not like, oh, that's a little much. Okay,
So far,
yeah.
I respect it.
if they tell me I have to cut it, I will though.
Yeah, they did.
No.
I've had.
It's more of a
jobs.
don't ask, don't tell kind of situation.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
I've had serving jobs tell me I can't have a long beard.
Really?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I can't have a beard to take an order. I'm bringing
Yeah.
sweet tea to rednecks. Will you shut up?
I know, dude. Some of those restaurants that do that are the ones that you get paid the least.
Yeah,
At.
yeah,
Yep.
Sometimes the fancy spots is you don't even make the good money.
yeah,
You know who makes good money is fucking bartenders.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bartenders and shit. Like if you're a bartender in a dive bar, you can probably you make more than any other.
And you can
stand-up.
tell people to get the fuck out. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Because
Yeah,
you got all the
it's-
regulars on your side.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where I bartended. I was at this little bar, and I had people that came every week, every Monday, make great money from them. But then it was like, dude, I had people that would come, and you're like, as soon as you saw them walk in the door, you're like, fuck. I'm about to have to listen to this guy bitch for like 2 hours. And he's just going to sit here, get shit-faced, and bitch about like he's like it's like a live Facebook feed. Like he's just bitching about like highlights of stuff that he like read about on the way in. It was nuts.
Dude, they
hold you hostage. You can't go anywhere because you're behind the bar. At least serving, you can leave and go to the kitchen. Like when you're behind the
your
bar,
bartender,
you're just
right
there.
the whole time.
And this dude's just fucking.
And if they're drunk, they're gonna keep on flagging you down and trying to talk to you about some bullshit.
Yeah. Like, and another thing my wife said, you're like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Bro, we had this one lady at the restaurant that legitimately might have been one of the stupidest people I've met that doesn't have like a diagnosed you're stupid diagnosis.
Yeah.
You know? Just like super low IQ. But not Down syndrome, but like nothing's going on.
Yeah.
She got fried green tomatoes. So you know a green tomato is an unripened tomato.
Yes.
And then a tomato, I guess, ripens from inside to out. So before the outside is red, the middle could be a little red. So we give her fried green tomatoes. They're all like split in half. We put pimento cheese on top.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It's good. She gets it. There's a little red in the middle, and she goes, "This one's raw." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What do you mean raw?" She goes, "It's still red in the middle." And it's like. So this isn't what you're eating. Isn't you have to like start breaking things down to its basic foundation.
Like, we got to get to the root of this situation.
You have to start from tomato and meat is two different things.
Yeah. What do you know about vegetables?
Where are we at on vegetables?
So I was like, no matter how much you cook this tomato, the red is never gonna go until you just completely burn it to tar, you know, or whatever the fuck it turned ash. I don't even know shit either, really. And then she was like, "Can you just give me one that's not raw in the middle?" And it's like, wow, we made no progress with that explanation.
You're still using the word raw.
And then what sucks is that you got to go back to the kitchen, and the kitchen is just like, it's a bunch of, I mean, to be completely honest, it's a lot of Mexican folks that
it's all Mexicans.
It's all Mexicans, and then it's a couple really angry white people.
Yeah, a couple guys that got on their third DUI.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, they're on probation. They're smoking Newports.
They're like they've been off heroin for like 2 weeks. Like enough for you to be proud of them, but not enough for you to be like, oh, you're off of it. You know,
you're like, dude, are you sure you got an itchy ass face?
And if you come back in there for any other remake, they ask you why.
Yeah,
and you don't want to be like,
because it's raw,
dude. This lady said it's raw, and they're like, well, go explain it to her that it's like I already tried. And it wasn't going.
Yeah.
And then
that's a nightmare. It is the worst thing about serving.
Yeah, we ended up just taking it off her tab.
Yeah.
I told her that everything all the tomatoes are raw.
Yeah.
Just anything to get.
You just started using her terminology.
Yeah.
They're all raw.
Tomatoes,
she won that interaction because it was like whatever. I'll cave in and do whatever you want me to do to make this whole interaction end.
Yeah.
I want this to be over.
So she left that being like, I told them.
Yeah.
Like she thought she killed it in there.
No, I want to hear her story, how she tells it to her friends, where she's like, I told this dumbass.
Dude. Yeah, they had no idea. They were serving raw tomatoes till I got there.
And she wasn't.
I can't believe no one got sick.
Yeah, these idiots, dude.
Almost gave me salmonella. And she and
I
it
heard
wasn't
that's
like
why
she was,
Chipotle's bad. Raw tomatoes.
and she wasn't even like some bum ass lady. Like she was like a legitimate.
They'll surprise you.
Like she had a
The stupidest people will surprise
like
you.
I don't know what designer brands look like and shit, but she had like a nice ass purse. She was dressed to the nines. Had like bright
Dude,
colored.
we have
capris
people
and
that
shit.
look at you and you're like, would you like marinara or meat sauce? And they're like, what is the difference? You're like,
It's
okay,
in
dude.
the fucking name.
Fucking meat is the difference, dude. I don't like,
Bro, one of
what?
the I've never had a question infuriate me so much for no reason, but I was walking past a table that wasn't even a table that I was serving.
That's
And-
already frustrating.
And the table, they stop me and they just point to their coffee and they go, "Is this decaf?" Now, how the fuck could I look into a cup of coffee?
Yeah, look, let me look into my crystal ball, dude.
I wanted to put like my fingers on my temples and be like, scanning.
I'm scanning for caffeine. Oh,
You should have
know what
just
you
picked
should've
it up
done?
and sipped
Yeah,
it.
you should have picked it up, took a big old sip, and be like, tastes
No.
like decaf to me. Dude, we had a guy one time do that. He was at a
Drink
restaurant,
the rest of
and a
it.
table goes, this lemonade tastes off. He goes, yeah, I took a sip, and I thought to myself, the lady goes, out of my drink? I was like, oh,
That's
shit,
funny.
dude,
Was he just fucking with her?
busted. No, she was dead serious.
No, was he just fucking with her?
No, he's fucking weirdo. We're like, dude, he probably did take a sip out of her drink. Dude, this fucking weirdo. It was so funny.
Oh, my
dude,
God.
I've had people. I had a lady the other day. I'm in a party, 15 top, and she was like, I'm taking an order, and she's like 4 people down, and she just goes, like they're in elementary school. I literally, as I'm taking the order, I looked over, I went, put your hand down. I see you. Don't do that. Stop. Just.
That's more distracting than yelling at me.
I mean, it's like, dude, I'm literally in the middle of an. Dude, that is not how this works. You don't just raise your fucking hand.
No.
Your turn is done. And she was already one of the people that I looked at her when I got to her. I said, you're next. She went, oh, come back to me. And then you're going to raise your goddamn hand? I almost wanted to just be like, put it down or you're not getting anything. All right? You're on thin ice, Kathy.
Like, yeah, you can go to the bathroom.
And then nothing infuriates. I have so many qualms with waiting table. Nothing pisses me off more than when you're taking an order and somebody slurps down their tea while you're trying to take like a 4 Tops order. And they're like, I need more tea. I saw you, you toddler.
Yeah,
I saw you slurp it down like a 6-year-old. I'll get it when I do it. All right, you're on my time now.
Bro, I hate parents that don't discipline their babies. Dude.
Oh, dude.
Like
It's out of control.
they'll get these, and you know, not to make it racial, it's
Yeah.
a lot of white people
Yeah.
where it'd be like,
We'll come after all races.
Yeah.
We're gonna attack all of you.
well, yeah. The
White people are
Physically.
bad.
I
White babies are bad. Let's be real.
I think a lot, and this brunch restaurant is nice. So
Oh,
it's a lot of
brunch.
it's like a lot of upper middle class white people that coming in there for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Well, that's brunch.
That's brunch,
Yeah.
and then so
It's a very white thing.
their babies, they'll
Are
grab
bad.
at stuff, and
Yeah.
instead of disciplining them, I think they have the mentality of, oh no, I'm gonna let him explore his
Yeah.
senses.
Yeah.
So they'll grab like those sugar caddies where you got Splenda and all that stuff,
Oh,
and just
no.
throw it across
yeah.
the fucking room,
Yeah.
and then they're just like,
They're like, Bryson.
yeah,
Stop.
Can we get more sugar for the table? Our child threw it,
Yeah.
and they say it to you like you're supposed to find it cute as
we
well.
have kids where you look over and they'll
Oh.
just have the Parmesan and they're like, you're like, dude, get that out of that fucking kid's mouth, bro.
What is stopping-
Other tables use that. Your
Ha-
kid's just
have you-
sucking on it like a tit.
Have you have you ever just
What
like
the fuck,
awesome
dude?
awesome
They call that
reflex?
the Italian nipple.
Parmesan cheese shaker.
Have you ever just like off of some reflex type shit, just kind of grab it out of the baby's hand like
Yeah.
it's your kid, but you're not even thinking.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, let's
You
go ahead and
have-
set that down. Dude, I did that one time. Mom looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a line. It's hard to discipline
And then
people.
it's
So,
like,
hey,
damn, you work for tips.
you
You,
know
can't
how
just be
many-
like, hey, no, but your kid, because it's not like if your kid throws that shit across the room, I can just go and put those sugars back into the caddy.
they're done.
Because some customer's going to look at me and
Yeah.
go, you can't put that sugar
Yeah.
back in the
Yeah.
we're
caddy.
burning them now.
Yeah.
Kids
Now
chewing
you're
on a salt
Dude,
shaker.
People, this is something people with kids do. They just allow their children to take like goldfish and just like crush them onto the
Why?
carpet. Like what the
You know, what you
fuck
guys
is
should
that
start
about?
doing
They
is
bring
just
it-
like putting like a little dab of hot sauce
fentanyl.
or like yeah that.
Solve this baby crisis right now.
Just put like a lime on there. You know,
Dude.
something the kid's gonna get into
my
and not
intrusive,
like.
my
That's
intrusive
true.
thoughts when
That's not a bad idea.
Another thing that drives me crazy is when people let their children run around the restaurant.
Oh,
It
yeah.
drives me.
I always
Because
want to
first
trip
off,
'em.
it's dangerous because it's like, bro, I'm carrying a whole thing of food. I can't see this little child.
Yes, but you got that tray. You
Yeah.
can't see what's
Yeah.
underneath you. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, my intrusive thought is just to
Yeah.
put my leg out and trip.
I mean,
And just be like, damn, dude.
let's not forget that there are knives all over this
Oh, my
motherfucker.
God,
Like,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're in a steakhouse,
Dude.
if there's steaks and there's like people just holding sharp knives
Yeah,
around,
Yeah, that's true. Dude, I caught a
Kids
kid.
running
So one
around.
time I was waiting tables, right? and I was in like they had the booth, but they had those little bouncy booths. You know what I'm talking about? So this table, this kid's like jumping up and down in the booth, and I like looked at the lady. I was like, "Oh, be careful!" Like saying it to the kid, but looking at the lady like, "Fucking take the hint."
Yeah, do something.
Be careful. And then as I'm taking an order, this kid's jumping, and then I like right out of the corner of my eye, I just see him, and I just instinctively reached out and grabbed this kid. And like stopped him enough to where she could grab him. Dude, this kid was about to bust his head open on the floor because it was like that hard tile.
Oh yeah.
But it was just like looking at this lady like, dude,
what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, what were you gonna
should
do if I
watch him.
didn't stop him? And he just smack. I'm like, not only are you gonna ruin his life, and now you got like a
Now
Sam
he's gonna
Kinison.
talk funny.
Yeah, now you got a Sam Kinison running around. You're like, dude, that ruins everybody else's dinner. You're so selfish.
Bro, I had
Like a baby splattering its head on the fucking
Yeah.
tile next to me ruins my dinner.
I'm so glad right now during this podcast we took a turn for talking shit about kids and their parents.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is what I should have came in ready to talk about.
That's restaurant talk.
Because not only that, before I worked in a restaurant, I worked as an activities counselor
Oh no.
at
What is that?
Claremont Presbyterian
So
Church.
what was the activities?
So I transferred. I transformed
these children, dude.
I transferred.
Oh,
from,
sorry. That's just what he puts on his resume.
Follow you on my LinkedIn.
It sounds better.
Yeah, follow Khaled on LinkedIn.
I transferred from fucking Georgia Southern to Georgia State, lived with
Okay.
my sister, and then started working as an activities counselor because I wanted to start doing stand up. This is when I turned 21, and so I started working at Claremont Presbyterian Church, and activities counselor just means like you play dodgeball with them. You just play those bullshit ass games with them. You walk them back
Yeah.
from school to the church. It's like
Just
an extended
Adam
day
Sandler
program.
and kids.
Just
Just Billy
anything.
Madison.
Yeah,
They're
kind
like,
of.
we don't care what you do, just don't molest them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, which is not my thing at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just play tag with
Yeah.
them.
I
Whatever.
feel like saying that's not my thing at all doesn't sound like a thing that a non-molester would say. But like, you just have to take my word on it.
Make sure they're tired when we pick them up. Don't touch them.
That's your new merch. That's not my thing at all.
I remember the fucking bro. We show up there, and I was bad at this job. The kids didn't like me. I realized the kids didn't like me because
Is this summertime or?
no. This is during my school semester. So I was still going
so
to
it's
class.
school time. Okay.
So still school time. It was like an extended day program for them.
Right.
My
So
classes
after
were in the
school.
morning.
That's where. Yeah.
It all worked with my schedule.
Nice.
Thanks. No. So the fucking I showed up and I realized the kids didn't like me because they would tell the kids, they'd group all the kids in a room and then they would tell them what counselor they go with. So it'd be like, y'all go with Chelsea, and they'd be like, yeah, Chelsea, and they'd be like, y'all go with Alan, like, yeah, we love Alan. Like, in group 3, y'all go with Khaled, and they'd be like, it's a lot. It was like a lot of eye rolls, and kids were like, "Oh man, he's about to just give us the rack of basketballs and be like, yeah, y'all fun."
Oh yeah, there you go.
But I wasn't
shoot threes.
I wasn't very playful, and then the kids would also infuriate me. Like I didn't have a lot of pleasant interactions with them. Like we would have to.
How old are we talking?
So the majority of them, I would say, were 1st through 4th grade.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. The majority of them were elementary school. Then you had a little bit of like a couple 6th grade, but most of them, by the time you get into middle school, the kids are too old for this type of bullshit. Unless they're
Like,
retarded.
all right, kids,
I feel like
this
I
is
said
the
retarded
Wu-Tang
too.
Yeah,
Clan.
that's what I was saying. If you're still doing this in the 6th grade,
6th grade,
it's like,
yeah. You know,
yeah.
that.
You have a helmet
They're
that you
going
don't
with
take off during.
You're going with Khaled every day.
Yeah, you have a helmet that you don't take off after dodgeball.
Yeah.
But it did make me hate millennial parents because
Yeah.
the kids weren't afraid of their parents anymore.
No.
Like we had this one kid, he went into the bathroom, and he shoved a bunch of toilet paper into the toilet bowl, and then he took a shit on top of it.
Wow, dude, that's next
What a
level
dick.
devious.
I know. And
he
was
did
like,
a lower decker.
and he was like, he
He did a
did.
lower decker. He did a basement flood.
Dude, imagine being 7 years old coming up with a new Urban Dictionary term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did a lower decker. Like
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like
No,
it.
Call that an infield home run.
that's crazy that he did that.
And then you know how you discover a lower decker is like, it would stink up the hallway because
Yeah.
it turns out when a turd never touches water,
It's horrific.
it's horrific.
The water's
It's like
there
you've had
for
like
a reason.
Yeah, it's like you had a possum that's been dead for 3 weeks in your kitchen. Like it permeates throughout the whole. So we're like, it smells like shit in here. Like, what the fuck happened in there? We go in there, a mountain of toilet paper, and then like the amount
Bro,
of
this
shit.
kid tried that out at home.
And I was infuriated by it, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Because it's a very like aggressive smell.
Not only is it
Shit
an
out of
aggressive
water.
smell, bro. Guess how we have to fix this problem?
Oh, no.
You can't flush it. The toilet, you're gonna fucking flood the bathroom. You have to put on like a goddamn dish gloves and fish out the turd and toilet paper.
He knew that.
And then we had to do it because we were they're like, if there's a boy bathroom issue, the boys have to take care of it. If there's a girl bathroom issue, the girls have to take care of it.
Fuck that.
So I had the
That's
trash
where I'm
bag.
the biggest feminist in the world.
Yeah.
It's equality, bitch. Get in there and dig that turd out.
No, but the girls got the girls got their turn of it later. I'll tell you about that second.
Okay.
But, so we took all the toilet paper with the turd and everything. We got rid of it, and I was like, I can't wait to talk to his mom about this because I want her to go off on this kid for doing this bullshit. So she gets there. She's this fucking earthy Decatur Atlanta lady, fucking
she's a crunchy
asshole.
mama.
Oh my god, granola
Granola.
to the
Granola girl.
Like,
bro.
you can see her REI membership.
Yeah, she walks up with the REI membership, Harry Pitts.
The whole nine.
Disgusting
She came up
toes.
and I go, hey, your
Probably
son.
plays a handpan. Jesus, these fucking
Blue
And I told her,
these fucking people.
I was like, wait till you hear about what your fucking kid did.
Yeah.
And I told her what he did.
This
And then she goes,
lower
oh,
decker
the lower decker.
prankster,
Yeah.
dude.
Your son pulled the lower decker today. And guess who had to fix that?
Yeah.
Me. I took off the gloves that were covered in your son's shit to talk to you right now about how much your son is just a Tasmanian devil of shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
just a little demon.
Little demon. And I told her, and she goes, oh, me and his father got divorced recently, so he's just been going through a lot. And it's like, your son did a lower decker.
Yeah.
I didn't ask to hear his Wikipedia bio.
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
Guess what? An unrelated shit that happened today. Like, my day was fucking ruined
Oh, my
because your
God.
son is a shit bandit, lady.
I don't get that. Yeah, your son took a lower decker. Yeah, his grandmother got knee replacement surgery, so he's just been feeling funny. But then he still did. What's the lower decker business
That's
about?
where you have to hit her with your son's on a lower vibration. He's vibrating very low. He's lower.
Did you say this
deckering.
was with a church?
Yeah.
You should have just been like, your kid's a demon. Next time he's here, we're doing an exorcism.
Yeah, your demon.
I dare you to drop this kid off again.
demon
We're going to
son.
strap him to a bed and have a pedophile yell at him.
I like that he's just yelling at him. Yeah. We don't want to wish the worst.
Well, no,
that
that's-
there's been an
Yelling.
exorcism
Yeah.
where he's like, "Hey, everybody, leave the room." Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's happened for sure.
Yeah, so what? You were adamant about tying him up. What's going
Yeah.
on, Father? Father, what the fuck is happening?
Did we have to use our best sheets to tie him up with?
Father, why did we use?
It's
ties?
almost like you're looking for somebody to be tied up, but also in a comfortable bed. That seems weird.
Yeah, but the way it got back to the girls is that we had to take care of the poop situation. But then they had a girl.
So where did you put the poop though? Once you fished
in a
it?
trash bag.
Oh.
They had a real bubbles on
Hey,
their
just
hands
tie it.
one time.
Yeah. So the girls, we had a girl that was kind of on some bubble shit.
Yeah.
A little bit. You don't know where the brain's quite at.
Yeah.
A little bit foggy in the
Yeah.
brain. And she experienced her first period at the place, and she smeared the blood all over the walls.
She went red rum. She went shining, dude.
Yeah.
Red rum. Red rum. Dude, she went full shining.
Yeah, she went crazy
Wow.
with that. Yeah.
Damn.
That's
Why
rough.
was that her instinct? I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe she just didn't know what to do
That's a
with
very
it.
primal instinct.
I've never once
think it's
bled
like-
and been like, I'm gonna put this on the wall. I think.
But I think it's like maybe when you're a kid. I hope
Yeah.
what I'm about to say is relatable.
Yeah.
But like you like pick your nose and you just wipe it on a wall when you're walking down school.
Dude, that
Not
was
at
you.
all.
You
No,
were
I'm
that
just
kid. You were the booger wiper, dude.
I think when you first start off, when you first discover boogers, you're like, we'll eat it, and then
I never ate it.
No, I never ate it.
Yeah, me neither. And then later on, you start wiping it on the walls. and
Yeah.
shit,
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done a wall
I've
wipe.
wiped them.
I've
sure,
done
yeah.
I do a shoe too. I'll do like
A shoe.
The
boot.
shoe.
Yeah, bottom of the shoe.
Bro,
That
that's
feels
fucking-
like that's
yeah,
a
that's
smart way
climate
to do
friendly.
it.
Yeah. that's what I'm saying.
That's the
one that I
politest
used.
way you can do that.
When I used that when I was a kid, I was like, damn.
If I saw a kid pick his nose and wipe it on his shoe, I'd be like, that's a responsible young man.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's gonna grow up to like hold doors for women and like no, the lady
kid's gonna be
orders
a
first.
billionaire.
Yeah, he's gonna turn into like a real like.
Yeah, it cuts to me on this podcast. They're like, yes.
What went wrong?
On the bottom of the shoe.
We got to get to the bottom of that gifted program.
You never ate it. You never ate the booger.
No.
No.
I shouldn't talk about that.
No, you
No,
shouldn't.
but no, plenty of people do. Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
No, we all knew the kid who did.
I mean, plenty of people do.
I think it's more than a kid, right?
I'm
I'm
it's a
trying to-
texture thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't really like that texture in anything.
You don't like crunchy mixed with slimy.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me feel nauseous when you said that.
Yeah, that was very
That was a-
visceral.
That was a tough couple words.
She mixed with slimy, dude. Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's what we should have called over
What
the
are we
limit.
talking about?
That was me and you,
Chinese
Keegan.
Yeah,
We're I'm crunchy and I'm smart.
Sounds like Vietnamese food.
So what would you say, because I don't know where we are on this episode, but what would you say your
Hour.
worst bomb is? Out of all your comedy, what was your worst bomb?
It's a tough question, but we all got one.
Oh, I've had plenty.
Oh yeah. Like, what's the first one that like shook you, like to your core? You know what I mean?
Probably there's a venue called Bonfire, which was when it started. It was literally a bonfire. It was a bonfire on like the west side of Atlanta, and it was like a lot of really cool black people with like dreads that are different bright colors. So, like folks
Okay.
with red in it, some with blue in it.
Yeah.
Like a black cyberpunk scene.
Yeah, like you know how Atlanta has like they got like a black hipster scene.
Yeah. They own crystals.
Yeah, I don't know if they're on the crystal shit. I feel like the crystal shit might be exclusively white. I could be wrong.
I know some black women.
I guess
that are,
on
like,
some
really
Erykah
into
Badu type
healing.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, this bonfire,
Yoga.
this one,
That's the crossovers yoga.
but it was kind of like you're outside, you're near a bonfire,
Yeah.
and I was really early into comedy, and I was with Will Foskey, and they asked him to do the first one, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna bring Khaled along. Do you think he can get a spot? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, damn, I wish they would say no,
Yeah.
you know?
I wish I could just
Yeah.
go enjoy this.
Yeah.
To go party, that's when you're like, I got no expectations. I can really party down.
Yeah, and then I only had like I had only like maybe my first good 5 minutes at the time.
Yeah.
I had no idea about how to handle a situation where you don't need to be doing
Oh.
material.
That's where you have no weapons. You're going into a
Yeah.
fight with no weapons.
Oh,
dude.
and it's like it's not like when you bomb and you're surprised by it. It's like you're sitting there and you're just going, I'm gonna just bomb the fuck out of this. Like there's no way around this. It's,
You're
it's-
looking around the crowd going, this is
It's like
gonna
you brought
hurt.
a spoon to
No.
a knife fight.
Yeah, it's like looking at a bull and you're just sitting there and they're
Bro.
about to open the gate. You're like, this is probably a mistake.
no, it's literally like
I'm
I
about
show
to-
up to this
I'm
place.
about to take one to the chin.
I know I'm going to do stand up at some point, and I'm very aware
Yeah.
that a terrible memory is going to occur soon.
Yeah.
Like I'm well aware that I'm about to have a really terrible time.
A core memory.
That's why I don't get new comics that are like really eager to do stuff they're not ready for.
Why?
Because I'm like, why are you so ready to have a terrible time? Like, do you expect this to go good? Because that means you're stupid.
They're stupid.
That
person,
means
yeah.
you're stupid.
They haven't figured it out. I mean, we're all stupid for the first 5 years, in my opinion.
That's real. That's real. And when I went there,
And then you realize you're stupid, and then it takes another 5 to figure anything out at all.
yeah, just figure out exactly how stupid you are. Like,
Yeah.
what are you prepared for and what are you not? And so for this one, I got told I was doing a spot, and I was under this idea that if somebody offers you a spot, you should always do it. Now I'm not under that
Yeah,
idea.
no.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, okay, they said I can do a spot. That means I should do a spot because my feeling of stand-up at the time was like, you should get as much stage time as possible, no matter where it is. And now I
there's a
completely
period
disagree
where
with
you
that.
should. There's a period where you should.
Maybe there's a period where you should, but I went up
At a
there,
point,
bro.
you age out of that being helpful.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm up there. I'm trying to talk about whatever, being an air, my dick. Those are like the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
two things I had at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it honestly hasn't expanded that much
Yeah,
since.
your first 5 minutes. Now you just have
be
40
honest,
minutes
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And I'm up there,
Now-
bro. Bro, there's like this lesbian couple just making out, and they're not even looking at me. and neither is nobody. And I'm
Making
looking at them making
making
it out.
is not a good sign in your show.
Yeah. And then when it was going terrible, somebody threw a frisbee near my head.
That's such a hippie heckle.
But it was all black folks.
If you had caught it
but
would have turned out
I
bad.
did think frisbee was exclusively white people
Yeah.
until that day I bombed that bonfire. But no, a black gentleman threw a frisbee to a dog, and it went by my head, and then the dog caught it, and that was way cooler than anything that I said on
Oh,
stage.
the dog caught it. Yeah, that's
And then-
hard.
Upstaged.
And then Will went up
That's
after
tough.
me. So I bombed the worst thing ever. I didn't want to make eye contact with anybody
Oh.
for about 3 weeks after that.
Yep. You're like, what am I even doing?
Absolutely. It's shameful.
Yep.
And then after me was Will, and then he went up there and he started roasting the women that were making out. One of them had that short Missy Elliott wig.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then Will did the backward, the snurp, Nizwick thing from
Yeah.
the song. I forgot what that song is called because I drank these fucking Tip Top cocktails. But the most famous Missy Elliott song
Missy
ever.
Elliott,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he started killing.
Yeah.
And then Will had a gray set. And that was back when Will was like being the token white boy in
Yeah.
a lot of black rooms. So he was like really familiar with, because the biggest lie people tell you in comedy is that funny is funny. It absolutely is not. Funny is like supremely subjective.
Incredibly subjective.
Bro, yesterday I did 2 sets in Jefferson, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
What they find funny is wildly different than what a Star Bar, which is like, I guess for the audience, like a more hipster white room finds funny.
Yeah.
And then I did hipster white rooms in New York. That's a next level hipster.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with black
Yeah,
rooms. You
where
got
the
black rooms where
hipsters
it's
are
like
made.
older black people that are not that are not on the hipster type
Yeah.
shit. But then you might see hipster black folks on like a Edgewood or at like a bonfire. That's a totally different crowd. Like funny is not funny.
Yeah.
Some folks' favorite comedian is goddamn. My favorite comedian, for example, one of them is Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people I've shown Norm Macdonald and they were like,
they just
Yeah.
don't get it.
they just don't get it.
Yeah, that's
Just-
so. Everybody's had that. When
You know, where you show
somebody
your
a
friend
Norm
a stand-up
clip and
you're
they're like,
Yeah.
excited
the
about.
fuck is this?
Well, Norm is kind of like high level comedy, but he presents it like it's low level comedy.
But I don't know. Like, is the longer I've done stand-up comedy, it's like I don't even know what constitutes something as high level and low level anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the longer I've been, like,
I
when
think
you
it's
bomb
how much of
enough
the audience
times,
gets it. I think that if it's something that a large group of people who are very into comedy find funny, and anybody who's not like that doesn't, that's high level. Because that's like, I think it's just some stuff people don't get because they haven't been around comedy.
I get it,
enough.
but I feel
they have
like
like a very vanilla, simple palette.
But
for
when you
comedy.
but when you have like a really shameful bomb, and then you see somebody like Gabriel Iglesias go up there and make like car noises, and you're like, damn, this guy is really good
No,
at
you
making
gotta
car
be-
noises.
Yeah.
Like this man is like I could never make a car noise like that. It makes me go, why do I think this is low level? This man is killing the car noises.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like
Well, you got to be able to do it all.
Yeah.
Is really the thing. If you're going to do it
Yeah.
professionally, you got to be able to swing wherever the audience needs it,
yeah.
and that's what being a professional is.
Yeah, nothing is like watching that first time you watch somebody come out and just level a crowd that you thought was like impossible. Or you're like, this crowd's not giving
Absolutely.
anybody anything, and then somebody comes out and you're like, what is happening? I saw
It's
Todd
still
Glass.
the best part of open mics. Is
Todd Glass did the 1 a.m. show and just murdered with no material, and that was like one of the first people I ever saw like do so well. I was like, dude, maybe I should just quit. You know, like I
Absolutely.
don't,
No, they had the.
there's no way I'm gonna be that quick.
Do y'all know who Nav Green is?
I don't think so.
He's a comedian in Atlanta. He's in 85 South show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in a lot of episodes of theirs. He's like he kind of started
Oh, I do
comedy
know.
with
I do
Will.
know who you're
He's
talking
very very funny dude.
Yeah.
And one time he did me and Will's podcast, opinions and shit.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, Will was like, "Do you want to do Star Bar?" And Nav Green had never done. What he told us at the time was that like he's very unacquainted with white people in general, especially as an audience.
Yeah.
And he was like, "So are these people like Donald Trump supporters?" And Will was like, "No, they're not. Like this is you can say what you want." And so he went up, he kills. I went up, I had a great set. So he was like, "Oh, Khaled's funny." very funny. And I took that as a big compliment because he's a guy that I find hilarious, and it feels great getting compliments from comedians you find hilarious.
Right.
And then we show up. Will was on Ronnie Jordan's 420 party. And Ronnie Jordan, for anybody that doesn't know, was like one of the most OG Atlanta comedians ever.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious dude. And been around forever. And then he had this like big warehouse comedy show on the west side. And it was like an all-black audience similar to Bonfire, where there's people selling dabs for $5. There's folks selling Jamaican food, and then there's a lot of commotion. It's almost like a flea market in a way.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of things getting bought and sold,
Well,
and then some folks watching comedy.
Yeah.
And then everybody was kind of eating it. And then Nav Green told Ronnie, he goes, "Oh, you should put Khaled up. He's really funny." But he thought I was funny because he saw me at Star Bar.
Yeah.
He never saw me
In that kind of room.
that kind of a room. And I went up there, bro. As soon as I spoke into the mic, nothing but feedback. Like, already off to a terrible start.
Dude,
And so everybody's now is listening because they're like, okay, he got feedback. We got to give him a second chance. They give me a fresh mic. I say my first bit, and it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. And then I'm over there because I'm like, damn, this was off of a suggestion
Yeah.
that a comic that I admire said to another comic that I admire, and I bombed that.
You're like,
That one felt the worst.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
That one. Oh
guest
my God.
spot
My dick was
bomb.
soft for a year after that.
The guest
I don't know
spot
if that was
bomb is
related,
tough.
but you
Yeah.
know,
It is related for sure.
probably just that shame.
Yeah, it just shakes your confidence.
It shakes everything.
Yeah. A guest spot bomb is a tough one. With so many vouchers for you.
When you ruin a vouch, that hurts.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I didn't just disappoint myself. I just,
Yeah. You
I
shamed
disappointed
somebody you
somebody
respect.
else. Yeah.
That's like getting somebody a job and they just fuck up. You're just like,
Give
dude,
somebody a what?
a job and they completely show their ass. You're like,
Yep.
dude, what did you do?
I've done that before too. Giving somebody like referred a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst idea.
I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
No friends, no family. I'm done. Dude, I had a buddy that got busted drinking the cooking wine. And they had to call me because he was so drunk. They're like, he can't be up here, but we also don't think he can drive. So I had to drive up there. It was my roommate
Bro,
at the
on
time. I
cooking
went up there
wine?
like an angry parent at school. I was like, are you serious, bro? He like got in. He had a spill down his shirt. I was like, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
How old was he at the time out of curiosity?
26. Too old to be drinking.
That's all. Yeah, that's just right. Too old to be
Yeah.
doing some
Yeah,
bullshit.
That's
it
like
was-
right
Like,
when
if
you
you're like
got over
20
the hump.
That's
yeah.
sad.
Yeah, like
It's sad
21
when
or
you're doing
22,
that.
you're like,
Yeah.
okay, you might
Once
have
you're
just
off your
discovered
parents'
that.
health
Yeah,
insurance.
That's
it's
a good
sad.
rule of
It's like,
thumb.
hey, and it's like, dude, Jesus Christ, you spilt the wine down the front of you while you're drinking at work. That ain't a good look.
Absolutely.
That's a bad.
'Cause
While
what
you're
else could it
secretly,
be?
Yeah, while you're secretly drinking, and then you come back around the
Any
corner.
other stain is explainable. It's the one stain you can't explain away.
Absolutely not.
That is the worst, dude. Like when somebody blatantly calls you out for drinking, that is such a funny like thing. When you try to lie to them, you're like, no, you just reek like liquor.
Dude, I'd rather just nod. Like, I don't think it's, my dad's a big drinker,
Yeah.
where it's an issue. And, and see it, like growing up, just seeing when you're sober and you haven't
Yeah.
even started drinking yet.
Yeah.
And you see how stupid somebody that's drunk trying to explain that they're sober looks like.
Yeah.
It taught me to never try to pretend like I'm sober. Because if somebody because I remember as a kid, I would just be like, just say you're drunk.
Yeah.
Like, at least give us that. It's
Yeah.
already so obvious.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm drunk and somebody says you're drunk, the last thing I'm going to do is be like,
Yeah.
nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Unless it's a police officer.
Unless it's a
Yeah.
police
My-
officer.
And
my
then I just
response
go
is
dead
correct.
silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go dead silent in any police interaction.
I passed a sobriety test drunk.
Really?
That should have been my story.
What was that? How'd you pass it?
So,
Pure will.
kind of.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only way.
Yeah, fight or flight.
I think I'd be
had to.
absolute fight or flight. I
Adrenaline.
think I found God for a second and then lost him immediately
Oh,
after
cool.
that.
That's nice. That's an eventful evening.
Oh God!
I mean, when
Immediately.
when you put it
God
that
is like
way,
sand through my fingers.
Yeah, that came out more poetic than I intended it to be. But I got pulled over because it was right next to East Lake MARTA station, and I remember because I was going back home. This is back when I lived off of East Lake. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They had a red light that said no turn on red, no right turn on red.
Yep.
Even though like
You're like, that's
Everybody
a
does it,
suggestion.
yeah.
there's no reason for it not to be a right turn on red. It's one of those where you're like, why? You know?
Yeah, it's a revenue stream.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
those make sense.
You
yeah, I
got
was
to
like,
see
well,
why.
And they pulled me over,
There
and then
you
I
go.
had just come back from a Mike in Decatur, and that night they happened to have this like tequila IPA special, and I drank 3 of those, and then the
Wow.
bartender came around with more shots.
What
and
a
then,
hellacious special.
and I know, and it was like $5, and it
They're
wasn't.
like, hey,
it
you
wasn't a
want
can of
fist fight?
IPA. It was,
Tequila and IPA.
like I don't even know like in bars like how big that cup is that is like this big. It's damn near
yeah,
a bucket.
yeah,
What
yeah.
is that cup called? Like it's like
Oh.
it's way more than it's like a
We call
24
it
A
ounce.
big one?
Yeah, it's like it's like got to be like a 24
Yeah,
ounce.
24 is
Yeah,
usually the
bucket.
big ones.
So either way, I mean, I left out of there pretty shit faced,
Yeah.
and then so they pulled me over. They go, they go, and I remember I was talking to Will on the phone, and I was like, hey Will, I gotta go, and I hung up, and when I saw the blue lights,
Yeah,
yeah,
where you're like, hey, I think I'm going to jail.
yeah, and they pulled me over.
Stay by your phone for a little while.
Yeah. Hey,
I
think
might
I'm
call
going to
you
jail.
from a different number a
I've
little
done
bit.
that. I have done that. Hey, I think I'm going to jail right down the street. Maybe you might have to come get my car. Don't let it get impounded.
And they came up to the door and they're like, do you want me to pull you over? I was like, I have no idea. And then they were like, you took a ride on a no turn on red. And I was like, oh damn. And they go, all right, go ahead and step out the car, Eureka liquor. And I was like, fuck. They
That's
go,
when
they
you
go,
know
sir, have
it's
you been
bad.
drinking? And I said, yeah, I've had 2 whiskey Cokes. And they're like, all right.
Why
was
would you lie about?
about the number? Oh no,
About
no,
the
about the
liquor.
liquor. You
Why
know,
not just say 2 IPAs? Why were you so specific?
I might have said 2 IPAs. I think right now, generally, I drink whiskey Cokes.
Okay.
But either way, I
Yeah.
said, yeah, I had a couple drinks.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
probably what I said.
All right.
And then I got out of there, and then they didn't do a breathalyzer.
You're like, I had 2 Zimas. He's like, what? You're
hanging
like,
out
I'm
with
nervous.
hanging out with a
I
priest.
took a
that's what they
Quaalude.
keep
They're like
around.
from 1978. You're like, I don't know.
I took communion.
So apparently now police officers don't do breathalyzers like that anymore.
Really?
That's what I heard. After this, when I told the story, because I was like, I was surprised I didn't get breathalyzed.
Right.
They just do a field sobriety test.
Okay.
Apparently, breathalyzers are not as reliable as they thought they were.
Yeah.
So they took me out, and then so they did like a few tests on me, and then in that moment, that's when I was like, I try to enter into like a Zen Buddha
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, walk in a straight line, heel to toe,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, let's concentrate.
Yeah.
We did heel to toe, 10 steps forward, 10 steps back. I remember you had to count out the step as you're doing it, and I nailed it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, all right, now you lift like one leg up off the
Yeah,
ground.
the
and then
balance
you,
one.
Yeah, you count to like
It's like
20.
a really high intensity dance revolution. Just over there getting in the zone, like right leg.
There's like so much weighing on this.
Yes.
And then I remember
It's
so I
the
was like,
worst electric slide.
and I forget
One hop this time.
And I forget the order of the
Was
steps.
that 3 hops?
And I forget the order of the steps too. But
Slide
I remember
to the
one
right.
of the one of them is where I've told the most bullface lie I've ever said before,
Yeah.
where he goes, all right, I'm going to shine a flashlight in your eyes, and then you got to follow it with your pupils. And I was like, okay. And he was doing it, and then he shut it off, and he goes, wait a minute, are you cross-eyed? And I go, yes. Like, because in that moment, I was like, with the best, in my justification in my head, I was like, the best route to take right now is to confidently say yes without a second of hesitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Because, are
like,
you
but I can
cross-eyed?"
see that you're not. You're like, yes.
No, he just goes, okay.
Yeah, because you can't argue that.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. I guess.
It's like I get cross-eyed when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
like you don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, dude, they had an IPA tequila special. I'm fucking cross-eyed, dude.
Well, a couple times I've seen pictures of me when I'm drunk, and then one eye is kind of over here. So I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that happens with probably everybody. It's not just me.
Dude, speaking of cross-eyed, Banjo, my cat, was getting like harassed. He was like freaking
Great
out.
cat name. Sorry, go on.
He was freaking out, and I'm like, "What are you freaking out about, dude?" I opened up the window and there's just this fucking retarded looking cross-eyed cat, like to the point where I died laughing. I opened up the window. It's just some stray cat, just like, dude, it looked like the cat off Cinderella, like Lucifer. You know what I'm talking about? The cat off Cinderella.
Yeah.
Dude, exactly. But it was so cross-eyed.
You gotta Google that one.
Yeah,
I just started
I don't wanna put
laughing.
it on.
I
Yeah,
just,
you're right.
I died laughing. And, like my girlfriend was like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Dude, look how fucking dumb this cat."
Yeah.
I don't even know how this one. Oh, this motherfucker.
It looks just like that cat, but it's cross-eyed as shit.
Oh, that one is kind of cross-eyed in that photo.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
This one is very cross-eyed.
yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. I like opened the blinds, and that's what was standing there. That cat.
Oh,
Sorry,
that
just thought about that. That was before I came to the podcast. I was like trying to roll a joint. Like, yo, what are you screaming about? And
you
there's
know I
just a
love
cat
cats.
outside.
I'm a big cat.
Oh,
person.
really, dude? I got a cat that goes on a leash.
Really?
He
Yeah, I
does.
take him on a leash. He goes outside.
Banjo's
he
a
climbs
weirdo.
trees. Yeah.
That is
I could pull up a picture of Banjo. I
So
bet.
wait, so you're cross-eyed. What else happens in this?
I passed it with flying colors.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
let you off.
Yep.
That's a good feeling though.
Bro, I
When
felt
you
like
get one away, like.
But
when
then
you
it's
get
like you
one on
gotta
'em.
never feel too confident.
No, you can't even celebrate it. You have
No.
to just not even. You
I've had a
can't
couple
even-
close calls.
You can't even mentally celebrate it.
The thing
Yeah,
is, I
that's
saw
it.
my dad drive drunk my
That's
whole life.
Banjo.
Oh,
And somewhere there's a picture of Banjo at a tree, I'm sure.
see, I love
Yeah.
I love all cats except for hairless cats. I
Yeah.
find them
That's
hideous.
him in a tree, looking like a
Wow.
little squirrel.
With a leash.
Dude, he goes
God.
15 feet up in that tree. Like,
Oh
put
man,
that on the screen.
I want to take it. I want to pick him up from his armpit so bad.
Oh, he's a big old slink too. If you pick him up, he just ragdolls out.
I love
so,
that.
Like, dude, when you pick him up, he's so long.
I love that. Bro, how's your place? Oh, bro, my place got broken into the other day.
Oh, what
Whoa.
happened?
Bro, so you know where I live, it was it's a 3-bedroom townhouse,
Okay.
and then it was me, and then a couple other comedians y'all know, me, Mandel,
Uh-huh.
and Chris is
Yeah.
lame, and then Brian King was living in the kitchen.
Wait, what?
Living in the kitchen.
Brian King was living in the kitchen.
I feel like he needs to put on weight.
That's crazy, dude.
That man is the healthiest comedian I know. He's like vegan, quit smoking weed.
Well, yeah, he's right in the kitchen. He's just
He's right in there.
That's crazy. Being like, hey, sorry to wake you up, but I need a snack.
he
You open the refrigerator. He's like, dude, Jesus, I'm fucking sleeping in here. Like 3 a.m., bro. I'm in there.
Oh no, he started sleeping with like
You have to.
a t-shirt around his eyes.
A T-shirt. He should have got the thing that
He
says
didn't
like,
even
fuck
get a
off.
mask.
yeah, like
yeah,
a mask.
yeah. But I don't even know where you buy those. I wanted one too.
Amazon, probably.
Yeah, obviously.
Where do you
But
get
he-
anything?
Bro, you can't get Amazon on my bro. Kids be stealing shit.
Whoa.
Amazon packages, like my parents sent me
In
an
Atlanta?
Amazon package that got stolen off
In Atlanta,
in Atlanta. It's the southwest side, it's South
Damn.
Fulton. They so anyway.
you got to start getting a poop package.
I thought you were gonna say a Ring camera.
No, I'm
but-
saying, no, Ring camera does nothing. You're like, now I can see people stealing my
Damn,
shit.
I just bought one too. That's gonna crazy.
But it's like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? What do you have, a
Well,
national database that you're going to run
Well,
those
this is what-
faces through? They're like, hey, fuck you. Taking your shit, like, eat it, dick.
Well, I hope I'm not running your podcast too long.
No.
Okay, because I feel like the stuff now is better than the stuff I came here with. Because
Yeah,
I think
we're
this
good.
story is.
Yeah.
It's happened a week and a half ago.
Okay.
So Brian King was moving out
Okay.
of the townhouse
Of the kitchen.
of the kitchen.
Moving into the understairs closet.
You're a wizard, Brian.
And when we were moving all his shit out, we just had the front door open.
Oh,
And the neighborhood is mildly seedy.
yeah.
Mildly.
A lot of
seedy.
people standing around.
But we're right next to a very seedy neighborhood, and I think some of those kids come in and see what
Moving
Right.
into the high class neighborhood.
yeah, like seeing
Yeah,
who
they're
can we
just,
pick
window
from.
shopping.
But like our neighborhood on a scale of 1 to 10, a sketchy, 10 being the sketchiest, I say it's about a 6 to a 7.
right.
But they're coming in from like a straight 9.
Yeah.
And when we were moving Brian's stuff out, I saw a couple kids poke their heads in, and I saw them take a glance at the TV, and I didn't know if I was just being paranoid, but I was like, okay.
It's like your mom's instinct, bro. You
I
gotta
know.
go with it.
I was like, I don't know what that's about,
Yeah.
you know. And then so Brian leaves,
Uh-huh.
and
God,
then after he
he's
leaves,
so glad he got out of there.
they're-
He's like, fuck it. Yes.
after that, I get a weird knock on the door, and I open it up, and it's 2 kids, like maybe 15, and they're like, "We know who stole your friend's wallet," and I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. My friend didn't lose his wallet." They're like, no, we know who took your friend's wallet. It was this dude with a shiesty mask, that thing that covers your face.
Yeah.
He took it, and I was like, okay, let me call him because I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, but that was a weird interaction.
Right, yeah.
And then so I call O'Brien. I go, man, do you have your wallet? And he goes, yeah, I thought some kid stole it, but then I found it next to the U-Haul truck. So I was like, oh, I felt bad about confronting them because I just ended up finding it next to the U-Haul truck. And I was like, okay, that's weird because they just told me that they know who took your wallet. He goes, okay, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And then so
Yeah, he's like,
They
I mean,
leave-
there's nobody else who has these Barbie Velcro wallets,
Yeah.
so I
Because
know
was like-
it's mine.
I was like, it also was like stupidly. I was like, how do you know it was his wallet? And it's like Brian is the only white guy in the neighborhood, and I'm the
Yeah.
only not black guy in the neighborhood that almost looks white to these people. So it's like it's kind of obvious. And I think this also made him be like, okay, these guys are probably slim pickings.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later, bro, I get another knock on the door, and there was no car in the driveway, so I think they were trying to see if the house was empty.
Damn.
And then I answer it, and it's 2 kids, and they go, "Oh, we were just checking in to see about your friend's wallet. Does that ever get figured out?" And it was 2 different kids.
oh yeah, that's weird.
And then I was like,
You're like, oh, we're being hunted, dude. Like,
absolutely. So I called Mandel,
shit.
and then Mandel was like, I think those kids took the wallet, dropped it back off next to the U-Haul to cause this kerfuffle to see
If
who's in
they-
the house after the U-Haul truck
What?
left.
That's
and I was
some
like,
Ocean's 11
no, I think
shit.
it absolutely is. Because
So they
then,
stole the wallet,
because bro,
threw it back down so
Bro.
that they could get you to open the
'Cause
door
listen to
so
the-
that they could see the TV.
listen to the precision with which they robbed me in. Like, so a couple days go by.
This next level.
I heard a.
Can I get a pouch? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I heard a knock on the door, and then I opened it up and there's nobody there, and it's when no cars were in the driveway, and I was like, okay, somebody's definitely scoping out the house.
Yeah, they
And
did
I think
not
it's these
ditch
kids.
you. Damn.
Yeah, and the part of me is like, maybe it was just a ding dong dish, but I was like, no, I don't think it's a ding dong
Not
dish.
after all this.
Not after all this.
Too many coincidences.
And then the next day, bro, I have my car in the driveway. I call my mom because I'm about to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I call my mom every time I go to the grocery store because I'm like, what'd you cook me that one time? Like, how do I make that?
Yeah.
So I'm always asking her questions. And then, so I called her at 12:40 p.m. So like right around noon, I go to the grocery store. Bro, I called 911 at 1:20. I was gone for 40 minutes. And I come back in. And I remember walking in being like, oh, did Chris take the TV upstairs? Or something like that? And I look and there's just a puddle of glass.
Oh,
And I was
shit.
like, oh, fuck.
So what they did, they broke
So they
the
melted
They
the
broke in.
glass?
They took my 65-inch LG TV.
they broke the
Oh.
sliding glass door.
Yeah, broke straight through it. Because you can break through the screen door and go out, and there's no cameras on the street that'll get you.
Yeah.
And then the CD
See-
neighborhood is across the screen door. It goes screen door, downhill, train tracks, and then a fence
Oh,
that goes
God.
into a worse neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the crime that be coming in be
From the
that
other side of the train tracks.
I think yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
And they
That's how it goes.
and then they took that. They took Chris's PS4.
Oh.
They took my MacBook, which doesn't even work. Like, it was a multi-main operation, which makes sense for how many different people knocked on my door. And then they took Mandel's desktop with all his projects saved on
They
it,
probably like had
and
dibs.
his Chromebook.
They probably had dibs on shit. They're like, dude, I got his fucking. I got
What
the
fucked me
PS4.
up too is like, damn, they went upstairs too.
Yeah.
It's not like it
Yeah.
was just a quick snatch and grab.
They were
like,
walking
cleared
around
his-
a little
They
bit.
were probably in there and they went to go get the TV and they were like, fuck it. I mean, we're already in here. We already got a B&E. We might as well just.
But they didn't take Mandel's gun. Mandel's gun was right next to the computer.
Wow.
Damn.
Mandel's gun was right next to the computer.
That's
They
where
probably
he keeps
did-
it so
that's
he
how
can
you know-
spin the barrel every time something doesn't
Well,
go
that's
right.
how you know it was kids, too. Kids are probably like, what the fuck are we going to do with that?
I definitely think I know who the kids were.
Yeah, MacBook, PS4. This was definitely a kid's grab.
Yeah.
No, because one time Chris led the curtains aside to let some natural light in. And it's like, hey, bro, this is not a neighborhood where you'd be letting
Yeah.
natural light in.
Yeah.
No.
You can just go ahead and forget natural light.
Yeah,
because
you
they
gotta
walk. I
have
saw
the
some kids
dark
walk past the
curtains.
screen door and then glance at the TV. after all of this has already been occurring, and I was like, bro.
Yep.
Before it happened, I was at a comedy show that was booked on, and I was talking to Gabe Haynes and Stephen Jones, and I was like, bro, our place is about to get robbed. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And then the next day it did.
You
and
brought
then,
that into your universe, bro.
but
That's
luckily,
crazy.
do y'all know Holly Valentine?
Yeah.
Bro, I put her on a big pedestal now. She gave me a 60-inch plasma screen.
What?
Yeah.
Shout out Holly.
And 2 MacBooks.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
Wow.
And she wouldn't
Hey,
accept.
Holly, I don't have a laptop either, babe.
She
I
wouldn't
don't have
accept
one.
money
I don't have
either.
one. I'll what's that dude's name? Justin Somale. I'll stage one at my house.
Yeah.
I'll break the window at my house. Be like, Holly, they took all of it. They took a PS5, a laptop. It was crazy. I'd take a PS4, whatever you got.
Whatever's laying around.
Dude, yeah.
That's crazy too, because like with the screen door, I was like, I never liked having screen doors in the living room. Like
Well,
for,
see,
for a
I've always
second,
thought
it was
that.
just like
So what's the solution? What are you going to do now?
well, she solved a lot of it.
How are you going to not have the window broken?
Oh, I got the screen door replaced. Oh,
Okay.
oh, I put in a ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
But the thing about the ring, bro, because when you walk down my neighborhood, if you're just walking down the street,
That can deter a lot of people.
every house you walk past, just all you hear is, "You are currently being recorded."
Yep.
Yeah.
You are currently being
Can I
recorded.
just give you another scenario?
And
that
then,
I
but
think
then
about?
one other thing about it too, real quick, and then yes.
Yeah.
Is that all those interactions I had at the door with that and the ding dong ditches, it would have caught all that.
Yeah.
Where I could have probably
Yeah.
alerted somebody prior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was little things like that.
See, now here's another way to think of it. You're going to deter the low-level criminals, and now you got the upper echelon of criminal that's going to be like, I really want that TV. And this is how we're going to get past that ring camera.
But I hope that an upper echelon criminal is like, I'm not about to break in and enter for a TV.
You could Wile E. Coyote a ring camera. Like, you could put like a piece of cardboard in front of you that looked like a tree to like run up to the thing. Like,
Yeah, you
That's a
could
good
just
point.
carry a piece of cardboard in front of you.
yeah, you could just really,
No, yeah, and you'll almost
you could
be
Looney
fucked.
Tunes a ring camera. Just set it up in front of the ring camera. You're like, it looked like a fucking.
No, the ring camera is almost discouraging when you get it too, because
They
have,
put a mirror in front of it.
They have like a ring camera chat box where it's like
Yeah, where you
everybody like in the 3 mile radius talks about the crimes being committed, and you're like realize
like a chat
that
room.
Yeah, like
Like a
it's like a
Discord.
dashboard where like somebody posts up a post and is like, hey,
How racist do you think those are getting in like all white neighborhoods, dude? Whoa.
Yeah,
If
luckily-
that's getting recorded. Nobody's being a president.
in my area of town, it's like the southwest side.
Yeah,
It's like
that's crazy.
I
that
feel like
they
we're
have
like one
a-
of the first. I mean, I don't know if Arab gentrifies the neighborhood. I honestly don't know what my presence does, but I'll leave that up to the
hard to say,
professionals.
yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't know.
That's
That's to leave that up to the professionals. I don't know. I definitely can't weigh in on it.
I have no
nobody even
idea.
wants to know my opinion.
Because I also have no
Straight
idea.
white man.
I have no
shut the
idea. I don't
fuck
wonder what
up.
you think too. Is like when I meet people,
Yeah.
I never have an idea if folks meet me and go, "Oh, this guy's white," or if they go, "Oh, this guy's." I've had some folks think that I was some sort of Latino.
Yeah.
I've had some people straight up think I was white. But I never know what race I come off as
Yeah.
when I first,
Like what you're presenting.
like when you first met me, what race did you think I was?
I don't know. I
I
was
feel
just
like
thinking
you can
that.
really make a decision for people with your clothes if you want to.
I could do,
You know?
no,
Yeah.
bro, if I turn my hat around, I'll look like DJ Drama,
But see, I can't
If
really
y'all
say that
listen to
because I've
Mixtape
seen
Wayne.
you
Like, if
when
you
I
wore a
first met you. You were doing
Scarface-
comedy, so like I already knew. Like,
Khaled,
when you
if you
talk
wore
about
a
it on
Scarface
stage.
shirt, I would assume you're Mexican. You know,
Yeah.
like a big Scarface graphic tee. Like you could really change what people perceive you as
Yeah.
with your clothes pretty easily, I think.
there's been times when I've gone up, because I love Mexican food so much, where
Yeah.
they talk to me in Spanish
Yep.
when I walk up.
Yep, that happens to my cousin. Every time I go with her, they just come up and give us like
Speak.
Mexican menus. You're like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
But I'll just point. Like before I give the menu back, I'll just point to stuff because they usually have pictures.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And then Arabs know I'm an Arab because I look
Yeah.
like a lot of Arabs, but I know that a lot of folks they don't know what an Arab looks like.
Yeah.
Or their depiction of an Arab is
Yeah.
like somebody who almost
Like Mia
looks
Khalifa.
Looks like-
Indian.
yeah.
like an Indian
Yeah,
person.
like a guy.
It's like that's so much different.
Where are we at on time?
We are over an hour and a half.
All
Oh,
right,
shit.
dude, we did it. Thank you for coming on. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
down
I'm
to
sorry
the
I talked
bottom
you
of it.
up,
No,
bro.
no, man.
I had a
you
great
got anything
time,
to
bro.
promote? You got anything to promote?
Oh yeah,
Anything coming up?
I every first and third Thursdays of every month, running a show at Limelight in Atlanta, Limelight
Nice.
Theater in Atlanta, and I would love folks to come out to that.
Okay, I'll post it up on the description. So we'll
Yeah.
post up the link for the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, just go check us out. Thanks for tuning in. We got patreon.com/finish the story. We're going to have some clips from all the early episodes. So we're going to take clips, some of your favorite stories that we have throughout the podcast history, and we're going to post them for free on the Patreon. So they're only going to live on the Patreon, and you can join for free. So go to the Patreon, join it. Thanks for coming on, dude. We're going to try to get Khaled to do, coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll try to get you to do a Patreon episode. So
Okay.
thanks for coming on, man.
All right, man.
Later,
Yeah,
y'all.
appreciate you.